Welcome, friends. It's Ray. Thank you so much for joining me today. In today's video, we're going to do some fun Christmas cards using mixed media. I love mixed media because it is so forgiving, and so this is going to be really easy, and you likely have all of the supplies in your card making stash. If you haven't participated yet in the giveaway, I will leave a link to that video below, and also talk a little bit more about it in this video. I have my 9x12 Canson XL watercolor paper, and I have it on the roughest side, or the more textured side, because I want as much texture on my finished design as possible. All right, so I am going to score lightly, just lightly, at 6, and then turn it around and then score in half lightly at 4.5. That looks a little crooked, but that's okay. You may not be able to see it, but I just want to be able to see it so that I know where my quadrants are going to be. I'm going to be working mostly with it horizontal, but we'll be cutting vertical 4x6 pieces when I'm done to make 4 cards. I have this old We Are Memory Keepers stamp set that I just love. I think it might be, let's see, I know it's not photopolymer. I can't remember, but I think it may be silicone. Doesn't say. But for what I use it for, it is fine. And I actually will be using this in my design today. We're going to be using this splatter. Yeah, that's silicone. We're bringing in this stamp from the We Are stamp set that I showed you, and some clear Versamark ink, and we're going to ink that up. And normally I would apply anti-static powder so that I don't get embossing powder in places I don't want it to stick. But right now it's free for all. It can stick wherever it wants. So I'm gonna just roughly center it on and straddle both the top half of this paper, and then I'll do the same in the bottom half. You can't see it, but I can see this, and so now I'm gonna turn it this way because I want another splat there, here, and let's see, trying to put 2 in each quadrant, and so maybe a partial one is what I'm doing now. Okay, have to hold it up to the light to see it. Okay. All right, so we've got our splat. Funny story, after after coating this with embossing ink, I couldn't remember if I had any red embossing powder, because I typically don't buy the colors. I'd rather use like a red pigment ink, that way I don't have to buy as much, as many embossing powders. But fortunately, I do have a red. I couldn't remember. I had to hunt this down because I don't use it that much. And so this is perfect. This came in an old Hero Arts kit. So Haven't really used it much, but look at that. Look at how red it is. I love it. This is going to be perfect. And as you can see, I am getting embossing powder in places that I ordinarily wouldn't want it. But I like that because this is a mixed media piece. And basically, you want the texture. So I'm
putting this back into my jar, and will use my heat tool and start from the back to heat set this embossing powder. Thank you so much if you've subscribed to my YouTube channel. I have now just over 1,200 subscribers here on YouTube, and wanted to thank you all with a giveaway. And it is open to U.S. and international subscribers. So I hope you'll participate. More details in the description bar below.
okay. All right, I love this. Look at all that texture. And if you don't have a splatter looking stamp, it doesn't matter. You can just take your Versamark ink cube or pad and just, go in random fashion and make sure that you get something in each of your 4 quadrants. All right, so now that we have that, and I love all this randomness.
I'm bringing in my Distress Mica Stain in Merriment. Love this color, and shaking it really well. There is a ball inside that will mix up the mica with the contents. So you want to shake it really well. And now I'm just spraying this all over my panel, and we'll bring in some water and spray that on the mica spray, and then my golden sparkler Nuvo shimmer powder, bringing that in and placing that in those same areas where I've sprayed water, and then just gonna watch that work a little bit. And I want gold, the traditional Christmas colors. Brought my paper towel in, and I'm just wiping up or soaking up some of that excess liquid, and then I will bring in my Distress Mica spray. This is another green. This is Wicked Elixir, so a little lighter color just for some variety and layered look.
Okay, I actually will bring in my hair dryer and or a hair dryer. This is a Conair that I bought years ago and it has a high. It has 2 settings, high and low, and you can adjust temperature down here. I bought this for my alcohol ink projects, and so I'm going to use this on the low setting. Let's see how that works. I actually ended up turning this on high and starting or turning my panel over to the back and getting that good and dry, and then I brought it to the front for just a few seconds so that I didn't want to reheat my embossing powder.
And here I am just bringing in an ink cube. It's intense black ink, and just lightly brushing that over the areas that I've embossed the red ink in, just to kind of pull that the coloring out in those areas and add a little interest.
I didn't realize I didn't have my camera on, but I just used my splattered stencil and applied. I mixed, oh gosh, didn't know, but I mixed my antique gold pigment reinker with my grid paste, and I was trying to get a gold colored grid paste, and I didn't, but I went with it anyway. And so here it is. It's not dried yet. So I just placed it, made sure that I got it in each of my 4 quadrants. Okay, so it's more of a greeny gray is what it is, but we're gonna roll with that. Okay, so I'm gonna set this aside to dry.
And here I'm bringing my Merriment mica spray back in because I actually want this a lot darker. And after I put the Wicked elixir on, it did lighten it a little bit more than I wanted. So just going back in and darkening that up and blotting off. And I'm liking the look of this better. Yes, I basically wanted traditional colors with just a hint of light green. So that's what I'm doing here. And this is the look that I'm going for. And actually, happy accident, this darkened up my grid paste, yay, or made it more green than gray. And so I'm lightly blotting this because I don't want to disrupt my grid paste because it's not entirely dry. And here I started out with my Distress Mica Stain Flickering Candle Spray, and I decided that that wasn't quite the look I was going for, so just wiped that off with a paper towel. It did leave some gold residue, which was fine, and brought in my Altenew Antique Gold pigment ink, and I'm just inking the edges of my poinsettias, and I've cut these poinsettias out of cranberry red cardstock from Hero Arts. Love this color. And then I've cut my leaves out of the Basil Aspen cardstock that I also use, and I use both these cardstocks actually for the matting for my cards today. So just antiquing these up a bit. So today's random thoughts and questions is, what techniques do you like the least? For me, that is coloring with markers and fussy cutting. What about you? Let me know in the comments. I decided I like this look a little bit better, so I'm using my tweezers and pressing this onto my antique gold ink pad, and I have cut out some sprigs from my Tim Holtz Sizzix die set. I'll be sure and list that below. I can't think of the name of it at the moment, but love these sprigs, holiday sprigs. This is dry now. I'm going to trim it down to 6 by 4.5. And then I'm going to further trim off the left and right sides of my 4.5 width panels so that they are 4 by 6.
I have cut this out so that I can use it in a future project, and I don't have to use up all of my more expensive cardstock.
So I'm going to use this inner die and cut out just from white cardstock, that inner panel, and just tape that in, and that way I save this smaller piece for a future project. Here I'm going to go ahead and glue and layer my poinsettias together. I've used the cracked 3D embossing folder by Tim Holtz and cut a piece of that aspen green cardstock to 4 by 1.5 and embossed it. Okay, and now I've placed my panel into my scoreboard, or on my scoreboard, turned my green cracked panel over, cracked embossed panel over, and I'm adding some liquid glue, and then I'm going to use my scoreboard, the measurements, to actually affix this in place at the 3.25 mark, and then set that aside and do all 4 of them. Here I am using my paper trimmer to just trim off the edges there. And here I have partially removed the release paper on my double-sided tape, adding liquid adhesive behind that and on top of that sticky adhesive, just so I have time to position this my card panel on my card mat. Okay, and then trim that down a little bit, and now applying the liquid glue to the back of the mat, and we'll place this on my red mat, and then we'll do the same to get it placed on my card base. Off camera, I have I've die cut my sentiment from gold cardstock, and then 2 pieces of white cardstock scrap, and I have layered and glued those to the back of my gold piece. And of course I've done this for all 4 of my cards. And so now I'm going to fix this to my panel. Doing my cards production style, although I tend to just show you one as I'm going, but I'm doing them all the same. I put my poinsettia and leaves together off camera, added foam tape to the back, and bringing in some gold thread to add more interest, and then I will just place that on the side of my panel.
So I've made my cards and realized that I did not add my splatter. And so let me see. I am going to see if this works. I've cut a rectangle out of just some regular copy paper. It is a little smaller, a size smaller than my 4x6 panel. And let me see if this is gonna work. So I thought I could use this to mask off my frames, right? Let's see if we can get, I might have to do this one at a time. I don't know. Okay, that looks pretty good. Just want to make sure that I don't have my frame on either side. Okay, that looks good. So that was a good idea. And then I'm going to use this scrap piece of paper. So I'm going to cover up my sentiment and everything. Some of my leaves and this poinsettia is in there, but that's okay, I think. Let's just see what we can do. I'm using my Altenew Antique Gold Reinker, and I tell you, I use this stuff all the time. And I'm adding a little water. Better add a little more water. Mix this up. Okay, it's not going to be wet enough to splatter, I don't think. So I'm going to add a little bit more. Let's see what this does. Need more water. Okay. All right. Nope, need more water. All right, that is going to do it. And let's see. Yay. Yay, gold. Yay, splatter. Add a little more water. Now, diluting it, I don't know what my concentration, my spots are going to look like when they dry. So we shall see. All right, and I'm going to do the exact same to my other two panels off camera. Let's see what we got here. Yay, splatter. Yay, splatter. Yay. That's exactly what I wanted. Okay.
And here I got a little gold on one edge there of a card and used my mono sand eraser to just get that off. I hope you'll participate in the giveaway. It's just my thank you to my subscribers. Check out the details in the description bar below. I had so much fun making all of these cards with you today and love all of the traditional colors. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up, and if not a subscriber, consider subscribing. As always, thank you so much for joining me today. Until next time, good day, friends.